Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. It's Jay from Mitosu Crafts and welcome to our channel. Today I'll be sharing how to create this Triptych gatefold card using the online exclusive One Horse Open Sleigh suite. So that is with the Horse and Sleigh bundle, the stamp and the dies, as well as the One Horse Open Sleigh designer series paper. So this is the paper that I'll be using. You'll also need gold foil, scrap pieces of crumb cake, pecan pie, misty moonlight, real red, basic white for stamping, and basic thick white for the card base. The inks I'll be using are Memento and Versamark. So let's start off with stamping our horse and sleigh. It is a photopolymer stamp, so do use your pierce mat if you need to. And I'm just going to add Memento because this will be colored in Stampin Blends. So just ink that up, lay down your stamp, and move your ink pads around to make sure that that is nicely covered. And then just stamp. So once that's done, I'm just going to white emboss the sentiment. So this measures 3 inches by 7/8 of an inch. And I'm gonna use the sentiment wishing you a season of cheer. So that one, I'm just going to add Versamark on the sentiment. Make sure that you prepare your card base with an embossing body. So this one comes from the Embossing Additions Toolkit as well. And stamp. So I'm just gonna, hopefully it goes in the center. I'll just move that down. Here we go. And we'll bring in our tool, sprinkle some white Stampin' Emboss powder, and set with the heat tool. So I'll just bring in my heat tool, and that's all the stamping that we need to do. So color your horse and sleigh image using Stampin' Blends marker, ivory and bronze, old olive, petal pink, real red, and Cajun craze. If you would love to practice your coloring using Stampin' Blends and other mediums, do consider joining our Coloring Masterclass membership, available from our website, mitoscrafts.com. So I won't color these, but I have gone ahead and colored a piece. Once you've colored that, die cut with the coordinating dies. I've also die cut the bottom of the sleigh in pecan pie and crumb cake. For the gold foil, die cut the sleigh trim, and you will have a piece like this. So the trim I just added along the outline of the sleigh. For the bottom, just offset the pecan pie underneath the crumb cake die cut and cut off any excess on the right hand side. Stick those elements down on your sleigh. Now we can cut our 6x6 designer series paper. So whatever is at the bottom, we're gonna trim off 3/4 of an inch. And that will be our offcut, which you can use for another card. Turn it the right way up, and we're just gonna cut 3 panels to create the triptych at 1.5 inches and 3 inches. So you should have 2 1.5 panels on either side. For the layers of the design series paper, we have 3 panels. So the side panels, there's 2 of them at 1/3 of an inch by 11 inches, folded in half at 5.5. And for the center panel, you have 3/16 of an inch by 11 inches folded in half. So they're all 10-fold card. For one of the mechanism, we have 10 inches by 1.5, and that is scored on the short edge at 3/4 of an inch. Turn it 90 degrees, and on the long edge, score at 1 3/4, 3/3 of an inch, 6/5 of an inch, and 8 1/4. Before we move on, we're going to cut from the first score line to the last score line. So just reinsert that or realign it on your trimmer. And if you need to keep it in place, just add sticky note. So align it on the last score line and all the way up to 1 3/4 and cut. So you should have the base like so. We also have another mechanism which is 4 inches by 1/2 inch, and we're going to score that at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches on both sides. So turn it over and do the same score lines and the same measurements. So that's again 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. So we're just gonna mat and layer our sentiment and DSP onto the card panels. We're independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators based in the UK, so if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Belgium, or Ireland, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up! Products from our online shop. So with the sentiment, do add a line straight in the middle so we can add the pop-up mechanism for the sentiment. So it's card spring, and you just need to fold your small mechanism. So from the center, valley, mountain, valley, and then start on the other end, valley, mountain, valley. So you have a spring mechanism, and you can add glue to those 2 tabs right at the end. So I'm just using Tombow and line that up on the center of the back of the sentiment using the center line as a guide. So now you have a spring mechanism, hopefully. For the other mechanism, fold it in half and burnish the score line. And for the rest of the score line, just train your card. So just lightly fold those score lines back and forth, and you're going to open it up and have, from the outside, you're just going to press that inwards, this end here, and then do the same on the right hand side. Press that inwards, and that's how that fold is. So again, you can burnish it with a bone folder. And once that's done, we're just gonna adhere our panels. So add glue on the mechanism. Just to secure that. Do take care of your edges as well. Mine's slightly off, but that's fine. So you can choose whether to have it that way or the other way, it doesn't matter. So we're just gonna add our panels. So start off with the center. Of course, you only need to add glue to the base. And line that up. And it should fit within those core lines because it's a 1/16 of an inch smaller than the base. And once that's done, you can go ahead and add glue to the back. To make sure it's secured, do just add more glue on the actual panel. There we go. And because you've got a nice space there, you can use that for your message. And then for the other panels, just do the same. And again, line your panel just after the score line. So the outer panels will actually be more on the outside. And also just make sure that it is level on your table. And then once that's done, add glue. Just to strengthen this side panels. And then the last panel, align next to the score line. Stand it up just to make sure that it is actually in place. And once that's done, close up the rest of the card. There we go, that is now done. You can add more details if you prefer, but I'm just going to add my sentiment on top, and this is actually just a 1/16 of an inch smaller than the width of the center panel. So just add glue to the back of that spring card and stick that down how far up you prefer, and again just move it around once you're happy with the placement. And for the horse and sleigh, just close it up using a block and add that centrally. So keep a mental note of what's actually gonna hit the front base and add glue to those areas. So the sleigh and a bit of the leg. And then to finish up, we're just gonna add the adhesive pack snowflake assortment from the suite as well. So just adding those in different areas. And there we go. That is the Triptych gatefold card using the online exclusive one horse open sleigh by Stampin' Up. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time, bye!